We are live. We have very sad breaking news tonight. Joey Chestnut was kicked out of the hot dog eating contest. This saddens my heart. I very much enjoy Joey Chestnut eating hot dogs on the 4th of July and watching that as a family. Anyway, that's not what we're here about tonight, but I was just reading about that right before I went live here. Joey Chestnut kicked out of the hot dog eating contest. So we are talking DoorDash tonight. We are talking earn by time. I want to answer any and all of your questions regarding using earn by time on DoorDash. I still see a lot of people giving a lot of hate to earn by time. I see a lot of people misunderstanding it, and I see a lot of people talking about it who haven't tried it. So I want to give maybe a little counter-cultural opinion of DoorDash Earn by Time, followed by some examples. And also, I have a couple questions about it within the new tiers program. So anything and everything, any questions you have regarding DoorDash, that's fine. We'll take any and all of those on tonight. But very specifically, I want to highlight just some of the things that I know regarding DoorDash Earn by Time. I don't have any notes tonight. I don't know. This is all kind of just stuff I've been processing off the top of my head. Um, so what I'm going to do, because I forgot my water, so I'm going to be right back. I'll have my drink for later here. All right, surprise, I'm back. I know nobody missed me because nobody's come on yet. Right around the 2 minute mark where we usually start seeing some people pop on in. I am so totally not with it tonight. I was just having trouble putting sentences together on the ride home with my family tonight. So my brain is kind of fried. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start talking anything and everything DoorDash, specifically DoorDash Earn by Time, why I think everybody should at least give it a try in their market, the best times I think you should do DoorDash Earn by Time, the best situations, and what its primary uses are. So first of all, let me give a quick overview. For those of you not familiar with the Earn by Time mode on DoorDash, nothing changes about the whole delivery process. The only thing that's different regarding earn by time versus earn per offer, well, there's two main things. The first thing is this. When you are on earn by time, you are just paid basically by the minute, okay? So there is an hourly rate set, and however many minutes it takes you to from when you accept the order to when you deliver the order, you get paid per that time. And so when you're on DoorDash earn by time, that's how you're earning. You're not given a set rate. And almost always earn by time is going to get you more base pay than, oh man, we already got a, all right, hold on. No spam in our chat. Don't come in spamming the chat. Come in, say hi. Love talking to all you guys, but please don't spam the chat. We're trying to keep it public for as long as we can. We're a small channel, and so I love hanging out with you guys, but please don't spam the chat. All right. So earn by time, you are earning based on the amount of time it takes you to make the delivery. You still get any customer tips, okay, but you don't know what the customer tip is up front. So that's one major difference. Now, when you're on earn per offer, you still don't know exactly what the customer tip is, but you generally know what your base pay is. It's generally $2. So you can most of the time figure out what the customer tip is up front. Not always, but you have a pretty good idea. So you can be on earn by time and get a no tip offer and not know it until you mark it as delivered. Okay. The other thing that is true with earn by time is it is very limited on how much cherry picking you can do. So specifically, you can only decline one offer per hour on earn by time. So the expectation is you're taking pretty much everything. So those are the kind of the two main differences. Like you can decline as much as you want on earn per offer. Now it'll impact your acceptance rate, of course, but you can decline, and they'll still theoretically send you orders. Okay, on earn by time, if you decline one, then you have to go a full 60 minutes without doing it, or without declining another offer. And then after that hour, then it resets. Okay, so those are the two major differences. Now, I probably should add to the title here myths, because I think there are some myths earn by time that I see on YouTube a lot. One of the myths that I see, hey Ram, how are you doing tonight? Thanks for tuning in. One of the myths I see is that you will never get tips on earn by time. Okay, that is, for some reason, people out there, maybe that was their experience. Maybe they tried it one time and got one no tip offer and then they turned it off. I've done hundreds of earn by time offers. And I'm going to tell you the key things to getting tips on earn by time are the same key things of getting tips on earn per offer. Specifically, where you are delivering from, where you are delivering to, when you are delivering, how good a customer service you provide. Those are all things that are related to how big of a tip that you will get on earn by time. Now, DoorDash does say that tips will tend to be lower on earn by time. However, I'm going to do some testing on this, and I think it's kind of an illusion. And this is the illusion that I believe. On earn per offer, people cherry pick. But let's say you'd had to dash 12 hours, and I'm planning on doing this soon in the next couple weeks once my schedule frees up. I'm planning on doing a 12-hour day, taking every single earn per offer. No cherry picking allowed, right? So if I can cherry pick bad orders on earn by time, well, I'm not allowed to do that, right? So people are comparing, well, I took 70% or 50% of my orders on earn per offer and I made more than earn by time. That's fine, but that's not really the comparison that we're doing here. If we're trying to figure out what's the average offer, the primary difference I see on just how it plays out is earn per offer generally tends to be shorter distances. Earn by time tends to be longer distances. Okay, now, do you get some no tip offers on earn by time? Yes, you will. But let me ask you this. If you took every offer that came to you on earn per offer, do you think that you would see no tip orders in there as well? Well, yeah, you will. Even if you're platinum, right? I'm platinum and I was getting offers last week, $2 for 1 mile, $3 for 1 mile, platinum on earn per offer. And then you turn it off. You will rarely ever get an offer below $5 on earn by time. Okay. It's almost guaranteed. Even your no tip offers, if they take you 20 minutes and you're 20 to 25 minutes and you're in the $14 an hour range, which I don't know. I haven't, we see usually between like 14 to 14.50. That's usually our hourly time here on earn by time. I haven't seen it lower in many other places. Okay. Most everywhere else I'm seeing it's higher than that. So you'll have to see what your market is. I see a lot of markets have it kind of in that $15 to $17 range. So if you're $15 an hour and a delivery takes you 20 minutes, guaranteed $5, even if there's no tip on the end. And so I've seen that. The other change that I would say is somewhat significant between the two is I feel like I get orders faster on earn by time. And sometimes that may be a negative, but a lot of times that's a positive because you'll just be sitting waiting for an order to come through on earn per offer. And then you switch to earn by time and it'll be boom. And so I'm going to share with you a couple experiences I had tonight. So I've been thinking about this topic for a while, but a couple experiences I had tonight. I had 2 hours to do delivery tonight. I had 5:30 to 7:30, 5:15 to 7:15. I had like a 2 hour window to do deliveries. And I was out of my normal zone. I was up a little further north. So I went to what I know is the best the best area for all my apps. So there's basically an area that's got a Pizza Hut, a Carrabba's, an Outback, and a Fresh Market, all kind of in the same plaza. So two higher end fast casual chain restaurants, and we always recommend you want to set up where an average order for a family of four would be at least $50. Okay, just to increase your odds of getting a tip. So if a family of four ordered from Carrabba's or Outback, you're talking, is that going to be $50 or more on average? I would say yes, because you're probably talking $12 to $15 a plate. Okay. Um, you don't want to necessarily set up at McDonald's unless you're like in the middle of the night and it's the only place open. Because what's a family of four's average order going to be at McDonald's? 25, 30, something like that. So that's what I do here. This is up in Bonita Springs. So I'm normally in Naples, for those of you familiar with Southwest Florida. But tonight I was in Bonita Springs and I had to be there because I was dropping people off, picking people up. So I had a 2 hour window and I sat at in the parking lot between the Carrabba's and the Outback near the Fresh Market. Nothing was coming through on the other app. So it was just kind of like going to be a DoorDash night. Left everything on, but I knew it was going to be a DoorDash night. And I had offer one came through and it was like, and I'm a platinum dasher. Okay, so I'm the top tier of tiers on DoorDash. I am the platinum dasher. I have highest priority to the best paying offers. You know what my highest priority got me for my very first offer tonight? $5 for 7 miles from Pizza Hut. That was it. That's what I got as top tier, platinum dasher, best of the best offer. Okay, that's what they sent me. Declined. Then they sent me another offer, and I already forget what the second one was. It was it was worse. It was like maybe a few more dollars, but it was like way more miles, and it was nothing. I was like, forget it. And this was at like between like 5:15 to 5:45. So like in supper time, near good restaurants. I'm seeing other delivery drivers pulling out orders from some of these good restaurants. Okay. So I turned them both off and then I switched to earn by time on DoorDash. Did that tonight and within. And by the way, those were the only two offers I got in 30 minutes of sitting. So I sat for 30 minutes as a platinum dasher in the midst of a great place with two fast casual restaurants, a high end grocery store, a pizza place that's, at least a step above. Two offers in 30 minutes that were absolute junk offers. So I turned it off, turned on earn by time, and instantly I got hit with a 15-mile delivery. Okay. And that's exactly what you're going to experience. Why did I get hit with this offer? Because nobody wants to go 15 miles. Okay. Nobody wants to do that. So they're going to send that to earn by time where they know you have to take it. And I looked at it and I thought about it. And my first inclination, right, is to decline. That's what I'm thinking. But I'm thinking, well, wait a second. There's no better offers here. And here's what happens. For a 15-mile order, how much would you want? How much would you want that order to be to take it? Let's assume that it's in a good delivery location because this was. The delivery location was good. It was delivering onto a college campus, and there's plenty of college restaurants nearby, lots of things. It was raining, but traffic was still moving pretty good. So call it a half an hour trip. It's going to take you a half an hour. What do you want for that 15 mile? Bare minimum, right? You want 15, right? Bare minimum, you want that dollar a mile. Okay. Well, I'll spoil it. There was a $7 tip on this. So that offer is going to come out on earn per offer to drivers at $9 for 15 miles, right? $2 base pay plus the $7 tip. Now, you can argue that that tip is worth it, isn't worth it, whatever. I'm not here to argue that. But that's how that offer is going to come. Instead, I'm going to take that offer on earn by time. It's probably been declined by a couple other drivers already who didn't want to do it. I know that the delivery location is going to be good to get another order, so it's good. So I take it. Takes about a half an hour, maybe closer to 40 minutes by the time it was all said and done. So remember, it's not from pickup to drop off. It's from acceptance to confirmation of delivery. Okay, which I know that's maybe a little technical, but it definitely adds. If you're not sitting in the restaurant parking lot, which I wasn't, this was for a Chinese place that was a little further away. So it's 40 minutes. So and roughly $15 an hour. So 40 minutes for $15 an hour. It's going to get you $10 base pay plus the $7 tip. So then what do I make on the order? The same order that DoorDash was offering earn per offer for $9, they paid me for the same offer 17. I got almost double the pay. And here's the thing that goes along with this. The customer put the wrong address in. It got me to the right apartment complex, but they had the wrong number. And so then I had to walk around trying to find the building and connect with them and all that wasted time that normally you don't get any bump for. So all of a sudden, this $9 order then becomes a $17 order. And maybe you'd prefer not to take a high mileage order, but $17 for 15 miles and ending in a great delivery location is significantly better than $9 for 15 miles that probably nobody's going to take. And so these are the types of offers that I get on Earn by Time that the alternative was taking $5 for 7 miles or $6 for 9 miles. That's what they were sending me on Platinum. And so Earn by Time basically is DoorDash admitting, okay, look, we can't, this order's not good. So what we're going to do is we're going to incentivize you to take this not good order, and we're going to incentivize you by one, sending you offers fairly quickly, which they tend to do on Earn by Time, and we're going to increase your base pay for taking this because we just want to get this out of the system. And so the offer, if you're on Earn per offer, that offer comes up as $9 for 15 miles, which is an instant reject. Instead, you take it on Earn by Time, not knowing what it is. And is there a risk there's no tip? Of course, there's always that risk. But it turns out to then be $17 for 15 miles. And I was guaranteed, you know, even if there's no tip there, I'm still getting 10, right? I'm still getting more. And if you're trying to do things that keep your acceptance rate up, it's a good parallel. Now that's not where my night ends with DoorDash. I did 2 DoorDash deliveries tonight, and that $17 one was the lesser of the two that I did. So the second order, and I did a couple other deliveries. I did an Instacart, did an Uber Eats while I was up there. So I ended up doing 4 deliveries in 2 hours. That I was hoping that after I did those deliveries, I would get an order that would bring me back down. And as soon as I delivered, because as the very north end of my zone, I did get an order that brought me back down. And it was for a sushi place. And it was about 10 miles back down the direction that I came from in the first place. And of course, Earn by Time. So I don't know what it is, but it's taking me back. So I had to drive those miles anyway. So I'm going to drive for all those miles. I was able to do a double stack with an Uber that was picking up in the same plaza, dropping off on my way to that other location. Doubled all that up. Okay. Dropped this sushi order off. Got $10 base pay because, again, it takes just the same amount of time to get back down as it did. And the customer tip on it tonight was $20. A $20 tip on Earn by Time. Now, I'm kind of surprised that that order would have hung out because I think that should have landed as like a $22 order for 10 miles, right? That should be like a 20 plus, you know, like that's how it would have shown. So this is what I'm starting to believe. I'm starting to believe that I actually will sometimes get really good orders as a Platinum Dasher on Earn by Time. I mean, $20 tip is huge. And even if there's no base pay there, right? $20 for 10 miles, I'm doing that all day. Maybe in your market you can afford to pass on those, but in my market I can't because I just can't do that. It's $2 a mile. It was bringing me back to where I wanted to go anyway, and even if I was going to continue delivering, it was close to another delivery area. And then, as I like to do every now and then, I'll send like a little thank you note, and hey, you're a blessing to us or whatever. Then they added on an extra $2 tip afterwards. So I ended up getting paid $32 on that delivery for 10 miles. $3 a mile, over $3 a mile on Earn by Time. Okay. And with those, right, so I ended up having to decline 2 Earn per offers, accepted both Earn by Times. So then my acceptance rate doesn't go down. My acceptance rate goes up. Um, that $30 order was paired with another $12 order. So that last 40 minutes of my shift, I made, what was it? It was 32 plus 12, $44 in 40 minutes. Okay. $44 in 40 minutes. It's like, that's crazy. That's like a $60 an hour pace using Earn by Time. And so I really want to encourage you to do these things. Now, let's get to the other side of it. Okay, first of all, it's not always going to be like this. This is maybe an extreme example, but what I want you to understand is one, you can get good tips on earn by time. And if you haven't tried it, don't take other people's word for it. Okay. It may work in your market, it may not work in your market. Okay. But that's that's something that you're going to have to test out and see. But let me give you the basic principles because I ended up taking 98 earn by time orders in a row a little while back, about a month ago. Now, this is before the tiers program had rolled out, so there's always going to be changes and stuff like that. But let me give you some of the basics. One, earn by time is great whenever it's slow. Okay, 2 to 4 in the afternoon. If you're just sitting around waiting for the unicorn Instacart order to come up, you might as well just turn on earn by time and get a couple of deliveries done instead of just sitting around swipe, 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 swipe. Oh, it's too slow. I missed it. Swipe, swipe, swipe. Okay. I think it's a better use of your time. In fact, I find that on average, my dollars per day tends to go up when I'm using earn by time versus when I'm sitting waiting for unicorns orders on to come through on Instacart while waiting at Costco or whatever. Okay. Um, it just is that very consistent. Now, how do you get better tips on earn by time? Well, don't just turn it on anywhere. Don't just randomly turn on earn by time. Don't just randomly say, okay, well, I want a dash right now. I'm going to turn it on. If you're sitting by a bunch of McDonald's, Burger King's, Taco Bell's, and in my market, Chipotle, if that's where you're setting up, if you're literally turning it on next to all the restaurants that you hate delivering from that have low tippers or you're set up in a lower tipping zone, then that's going to just be represented in the orders that you take. Okay. Now, I have a few places that I set up that are kind of near some of those restaurants, but the good news is so there's one where I set up, it's by a fresh market. This is in Naples. There's like a fresh market and it's near Carrabba's, near an Outback, but it's also near a McDonald's. It's all set up there. And occasionally you will get that McDonald's order on earn by time. But because that McDonald's is still in a a higher tipping zone, a lot of times they have good tips on those orders. It's not a McDonald's that's going to a low tipping zone. It's a McDonald's that goes to a higher tipping zone. Okay. Plus, I don't get shop and pay orders. You don't get shop and pay orders on DoorDash when you're on earn by time. So if you don't like shopping, then just go on earn by time. If you can't figure out a way to disable that, because you don't get shopping orders on earn by time. I don't want to shop, right? This is my personal opinion. I don't want to shop on DoorDash and Uber Eats. Their interface is too clunky. It's not good. I don't want to shop on that. If I want to shop, I'm just going to turn on Instacart. If I'm really desperate to shop, I'll turn on Shipped and try to get an order on there, even though I've never completed one, right? But that's what I. So if you don't like shopping, then earn by time is another benefit to you. But you just have to know where you're setting up. If you set up at restaurants that get poor tips, then on earn by time, you're going to get deliveries from restaurants that get poor tips. The other thing is know that you're going to drive more. Your dollars per mile will generally go down. I know tonight my dollars per mile were up, because I did about, 30 miles. I did $74, $75, something like that, and for 40 miles. So that's a really good on earn by time. But that's not usual. A lot of times you're going to have your higher mileage orders, so your dollars per mile will tend to be down compared to cherry picking. But a lot of times your dollars per hour can go up because you're not just sitting around waiting for an order. So it does depend on what your goals are, what your needs are. But if we're encouraging everyone on this channel to at least give Platinum Dasher a try in your market for a couple weeks to a month. We're not saying it's good. In fact, I tend to believe it's slightly overrated because I'm able to make more on earn by time than I am on earn per offer as Platinum Dasher. I've yet to see a catering offer in over a month of being a Platinum Dasher, or just about a month. I guess maybe not exactly a month, but it was really close to when I started because it rolled out May 7th here, and it took me a couple days after it rolled out. I haven't seen a catering order, and this is after seeing 3 to 5 catering orders a day on the old program. So I know they're out there. I know they didn't all disappear unless they've just recategorized everything. I don't know. But I can tell you, if you care at all about getting your acceptance rate up, this is way better. Yes, you're going to have some no tip orders, but on average, I find that I it feels like to me on earn per offer, DoorDash will keep sending you bad offers until you take one. And then once you take one, then they'll reward you with a better one. On earn per offer, um, it seems like you should be able to make more, but in my limited testing so far, I'm making just as much, if not slightly more, on earn by time. Now, again, this is the assumption that you're taking everything or most everything. But I feel like as soon as I reject an order on DoorDash, they just kind of they're like, okay, you don't want that order, we're not going to send you one for a few minutes. And so then I usually turn off things in that. Sombra, the only advantage of Platinum is Dash now. Other than that, it's the same orders coming in. I can't prove that, but my gut feeling is I agree with you 100% on that. I agree with you 100%. And I know that they've recategorized catering orders. But if you go back and look at some of my old ride-alongs from like January, February, when I was in the catering program, and you will just see some days, like go look at the New Year's Day. It was like 3, 4, 5 catering orders that I did on New Year's Day. Um, I've heard they've recategorized it. It used to be any order over $100. I know that's not true because I actually had an order over $100 printed on the receipt this week, and there was no catering bag required. So um, I think, as far as I can tell, catering orders are only when a catering service places their order through DoorDash now. As far as I know, I've watched some videos on it on YouTube, and some people say it's over $200, but I'm pretty sure I've delivered some orders that are over $200 in the last month, and I've not seen the catering bag required. I'm going to keep looking, but it looks like most of the ones I'm seeing pop up online, most of the catering orders that I'm seeing pop up are like Chipotle catering with the big catering box. And like a couple months ago, that wasn't it. It was that or any offer over $100. Like, I mean, the sushi order I did tonight was like 7 different items, like 7 different main items from the sushi place. Those are usually 15 to 20 a piece. That order was well over $100, and if they did a 20% tip, I mean they did a $20 tip on $100 order if that's the case. So yeah, I'm pretty I'm pretty convinced that that's true. That being said, this is where I like the balance of being able to do um, earn by time to keep the acceptance rate up, and um, at the same time be in that platinum so I can still do the dash anytime, because that is important. So I want to do, um, and I don't think I've seen you in here before, Summer, but one of the challenges I want to try when I get the chance is I want to try getting my acceptance rate up. Well, I mean, it's already up, but get it at 70% or whatever. Schedule out 6 days as when I'm Platinum Dasher, right? So when you're Platinum Dasher, you can just pre-schedule everything. So I want to go through, schedule the next 6 days or whatever, and then cherry pick an entire weekend, like hardcore cherry pick. Take only the best of the best. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all the way down, and assuming they're still doing the hidden tips on the lower tiers the same way. Um, but do that and then see if I can get enough deliveries Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday when I'm already pre-scheduled to get the acceptance rate back up to 70. I think there's viability there for people who want to be full-time on DoorDash and have Dash anytime and yet still at least be able to cherry pick the weekends. I think that's kind of a decently fair compromise that I think is doable because you basically Monday through Thursday have to take probably 50 to 60 orders. So, um, yeah, and Sombra, that's right where I've been landing. I think as of tonight, I'm at 76% on my acceptance rate. I I did a whole series of working my acceptance rate up, and I'm still in the middle of it. But I'm starting at 16%, worked it all the way up, and I took 98, and it worked out to 98. I think there were like 2 that I missed because I had bad signal or something, but I never intentionally declined an order for out of like 98 straight orders. So I got up to 98%, and now I've just stayed above the 70. I got as low as 72, I think, and I've been finishing right around like 75, 76, because you never know when you're going to need to decline two or three in a row really quick, because sometimes you decline and they'll send you another offer before you can even pause or do whatever you need to do. So I'm trying to give myself a little bit of a buffer there. Um, my earnings are not up under Platinum Dasher. There's no way are my earnings up. But this hybrid of some earn by time, but being willing to take on some higher mileage stuff, which I generally had to do. And I think one of the reasons why I'm not as opposed to some of the higher mileage stuff is my zone. And I've shared this before in other videos, but my zone is about 30 miles north to south and 20 miles east to west. It's huge. It's such a huge zone. So I've kind of gotten used to taking 10-mile orders. It's a pretty regular occurrence. And so it's like I've taken 10-mile orders for $12 or $14. So if I got a shot at getting 20 for 10, I'm going to take it because the 10-mile orders are going to come. I'm going to have to take some anyway in my market because it's just we're huge. We're not an inner city market. We're literally, you know, for those of you that know this area, we're like Naples, which is already huge, plus Bonita Springs, plus Estero, and then technically, I think in some parts it kind of merges into Fort Myers. It's a huge, huge zone. And so there's going to be 10-mile orders that are coming, and I can't decline all of them. So I just got to take the best of the best ones that set me up at least in good delivery zones. Okay, you've noticed in your market because this is good. This is what I love hearing this, and I love learning from other ones. And if you don't mind sharing, I'd love to know what your market is, even if you don't want to be like specific, just like even what state or what metro area. Kind of be interested. Um, as soon as I hit 90%, I start seeing bad orders, and as soon as I hit 70% or less, I start seeing low orders too. Yeah. So I haven't. Um, I got to 98, and then I was done with the challenge and I was done making videos at that point. And then I think I went like straight to like 85. I think I declined because I was so done at that point having, it's like I need to cherry pick some orders or whatever. Um, but the amount of times I turn it on at like peak supper time, 5:30, 5:45, 6 o'clock, and don't get anything. Like I'm not even talking like a platinum little icon thing on there. The amount of times I've done that, it's ridiculous. And because I would tell if I could talk to a DoorDash, executive face to face, I don't just want access to the best orders. I just don't even want to see the worst of the worst. Like I understand I'm gonna have to take some, $7 for 7 mile or $10 for 8 mile orders. I understand I'm gonna have to take some of those, but there is no way ever that a platinum dasher should be getting $2 or $3 orders, period, for any miles, even if it's 1 mile. Unless it's literally a stacked add-on that's going to the same customer from the same restaurant. They just forgot to order something at it. That's fine. But like anything else beyond that, I there has to be. I'm on the team that says yes, those who work more should be rewarded more. Um, but I also think that this component of just like whatever your approval rating is, I think that should play in a little bit more. And and I know it's not going to get better, right? Like I just know how this stuff works. I know it's not going to get better. That's just not. They're trying to make as much money as possible, so I know that. But that's really interesting. I can't foresee myself other than a challenge getting back over the 90% anytime soon. In places like California where you're kind of guaranteed an hourly rate or something like that, then I can definitely see that, right? Because then it has more to do with maximizing your tips and because your hourly is guaranteed at that point. But in my market as it currently stands, no. I think you should probably be only taking about 5% more than the required amount of orders that you need to take to be in the tier that you want to be in, right? Because there is this whole idea here of I had the term, I had the phrase in my head, but Opportunity cost. That's what it is. It's your opportunity cost. When you take an order that's not great, okay, just to keep your percentages up during a busy time, you're almost certainly missing a better offer. So if you're at, let's say you're trying to stay above 70%, if you're at 85%, there's no way you should take an order that's that's a bad order. You just shouldn't do it. You should take that down till whatever comfortable margin you need to have. Okay, so whatever that comfortable margin is, for me, it's about 5%. As soon as I get to like 74, 73, I start getting really nervous and I'm just like, I just go take some orders to get it back up. However many. Sometimes it's two or three, sometimes it's 20. It just depends on what my chain of acceptances were at that time. But I don't like getting, and once I get too high, I'm like, I need to be pickier. I'm not, if I'm at 85% or 90%, that means I'm probably taking too many bad offers. So I say, if you want to be at 50% acceptance rate, if that's where you want to live in the, whatever that is, the silver tier or whatever, then I think you get yourself and you try to just get right into that 55% as best as you can, and you make that work. Like there's just no reason to take everything unless you have some sort of alternate reason to do so, such as you're doing a video for YouTube, such as your state compensates you for, or you get compensated by, you know what I'm saying. Your state mandates compensation for that. It's different. You earn per offer. Green Bay, Wisconsin, about a 20 to 30 mile radius, or 10 a.m. to 6, sometimes 8. Make a good 150 to 200. Been doing this for like 2 years now. Have you noticed? And I would say that's about right for here. That's when you start 10 a.m. Yeah, 10 to 8. That's what. That's a 10-hour day. 150 to 200. Yeah, I would say we probably are higher ends. I mean, I can still put together an occasional $300 day here. It's got to be kind of the perfect combination. Usually, it's going to involve one or two good Instacarts. I'm not DoorDash only, but doing that. Have you noticed anything changing in terms of life on tiers versus before? Um, because I really don't think there's much of a change. I think it's mostly window dressing. I am very convinced that if it wasn't for Dash anytime, that there's no benefits to it. So you pick one day a week to help broke customers. Hey, I've actually heard of some people who do that. They call it like, some people I've heard they do like Blessing Sunday. So they'll just take they won't take the worst, but they'll take, basically as soon as they deliver an Instacart order, they'll just take the best Instacart order that's out there on Sundays, even if it's low tip, no tip offer or whatever. So that's probably when I do a chunk of earn by times. It's probably helping out broke customers. That's a good way to look at it. I appreciate that. So, all right, before we go any further, we're going to just get into, we always do a little segment, just what are you drinking tonight? So I don't know if you can see, I'm drinking water with a chunk of orange. The other half of this orange went bad, and I was like, I can't throw out the whole orange if there's still some good stuff. So, what do they call it? Orange infused water. So that's what I'm drinking tonight. I've had a headache all day. Um, Woke up with, I don't know if I went to bed with it or not, but my mind's just been, it's been foggy today. It's been weird. So I don't know if I need to crack my neck or something. Um, but I'm trying to just get hydrated up, and just had a really good supper of spaghetti and shrimp in garlic butter sauce. My wife made me some really good food after we got home, so that was good. So, um, Samra, if you have any other questions or anything else to do that, let's see what you say. That's how to keep the acceptance rate up. But yeah, no $2 for more than 5 miles. Yeah, I can't. I just can't go below $5 for any order, unless it's just a stacked. Like I said, if I'm already at the restaurant and it's going to the same customer, I'll do that. But it just, oh, that's really. I would just rather turn on earn by time, because you're just never gonna get. I you know I mean, I think I've had one or two earn by time offers where it was like pick up and drop off across the street, and there was no tip on it. Like, but rarely do I have earn by time offers that are less than 20 minutes because they're going to tend to give me the higher distance ones anyway. So it's just generally it's and rarely do I have two no tipping earn by time offers in a row. So if I'm guaranteed about $15 in my base pay because they keep sending the offers all day, there's DoorDash offers all day, and if two out of the three customers tip $3 a piece, that's 21 an hour pretty consistently, and then you get a every once in a while you get a really nice order that's got a huge tipper on it or whatever. Like tonight, a $20 tip on an earn by time offer going 10 miles. I mean, that should have been a platinum order. That like absolutely that should have been $22 for 10 miles. It's $2 a mile. It's a high paying offer. Like I don't understand. Now, did I get that? Are they sending platinum offers to earn by time? Because if they actually are, like to me, okay, and the other thing I should say, because I know you said, and I'm talking to everybody, but Sambra's the one talking in the chat, so I'm going to direct to Sambra. Um, but I know you said you're not in the catering program, but when I was in the catering program before, I found out near the very end, before they changed this whole thing up, that you could get catering orders on earn by time. Now, the negative is, of course, you can't decline that many. So you can't just be decline, 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 wait for the catering order to come up. Um, but you could get it. And I remember, I think it was on my Super $600 Sunday video. So I did a 24-hour delivery on Super Bowl Sunday. And it was like 10 o'clock at night, and I got a catering order from a sports bar. And 10, 11 o'clock at night, it was really late. I don't know. You'd have to see the video. Definitely go watch it. It's like my biggest food delivery accomplishment was that $600 Sunday, even though I probably couldn't do it anymore. Um, but yeah, so I know catering orders can come through earn by time, but I'm not seeing catering orders in my market, so I don't know if there's a way to find out. So I'm hoping eventually some driver who's on platinum that gets and sees catering orders regularly will let us know in the YouTube world if you can get catering orders on earn by time. Because to me, that's the game changer. If there is absolutely no different, like I was trying to think, when was the last time I got a $20 tip on DoorDash on earn per offer? Like it's been a while. I feel like I'll have to go through my records, but it feels like it's been a while since I got a $20 tip on an earn per offer, and then I got one on earn by time tonight. Plus, I get all the extra base pay, an extra $8 in base pay, and then they added a $2 tip. Like, like just for real, like when's the last time you got a $30 offer on earn by time? Or on earn per offer, right? Like those are rare. Anytime I get anything over 20 on earn per offer, I'm excited. And to get one over 30 on earn by time, it just, the more I want platinum to work, the more I'm wondering if the way to make it actually work the best is just do earn by time. And then, still multi app. So, like, anytime you get far away from where you want to be, just pause it. Yeah, I had to do that. I don't know if it was today or yesterday. I have so kind of one of my other rules that I've been trying is if I get an earn by time offer and it's in a zone I don't like and there's no tip on it, then I just pause and get out of there and just take something else. But all right, let me get caught up here, Sombra. I used to make $300 in a 10-hour shift, but now it's hard because of too much. Yeah, I you can have $30 hours or $40 hours, but to do that over 10 hours, it's really tough. Um, I still think I still think if everything broke right, I could do a $600 day in season, which would be like, November, December, January, February, somewhere in that time frame. I could probably do it because there's enough orders. Um, but it still dies in the middle of the night to be able to do that for 24 hours. But yeah, 30. It's been a long time since I got $300 in 10 hours or less. You know, it's tough to get 300 in a 12-hour day down here right now, at least. Um, I think the last $300 day I did, it took me 14 to do it. So $25 an hour is our channel goal, but it doesn't mean that you hit it every time. I kind of put the floor at like $18 an hour, like so $3, $6 for 1 mile orders that you can get done in an hour. Like, I feel like that's doable on the low end, but I don't like going much below that. DoorDash has this catering bag requirement. It's only red in my account. I don't have a catering bag, but I have like 6 pizza bags. So I I'm supposed to, like I said, I've had catering. The way that I got my catering bag and the way I would recommend, if you want to at least check it out. Now, there's no guarantee they're gonna just unlock it for you, but if you're over the 70%, they should. Um, but I just ordered mine through DoorDash, and I just figured if I'm just gonna throw DoorDash a bone. Even their catering bag is better than the little red bag they send you in the first place, but it's not as good as other ones you could get on Amazon. But I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna get it from them, throw them the $20, and make it easy because they know the dimensions of their catering bag. So I don't know if you're in the financial position to do that or not, but if I were you, I'd at least try to give it a shot. And the DoorDash catering, it's the main bag I use now. I just leave it on my front passenger seat, and I just throw my orders in there most of the time when I get them. Today was like super rainy, so then I would do that, and then I would sometimes transfer the order into a more portable, either like a Grubhub bag or my portable DoorDash bag. I'll throw it in there to get it to the customer dry. But while I'm just driving from store to delivery, if it's not a cold order, if it's like a warm order, I just throw it in the catering bag. And it's really nice because you can have, if you get a double stacked order, you can have both orders in there. And my cold stuff goes in the cooler, which I have in my trunk. Um, so I'm not giving you the recommendation to do it based off of my experience on Platinum. I'm giving it to you based off of my experience on what catering orders were before Platinum came out. It was, like I said, if you get a chance, look at some of those look at the $500 and the $600 delivery challenge videos, and you'll just see what I used to get for catering orders. And then the beginning of March they went away, and then they rolled out tiers beginning of May. And I haven't seen a catering order since end of February or beginning of March. I just, even on Platinum, even with when I got up to a 98% acceptance rate, even with my current 76% or whatever, not on earn by time, not on earn per offer, not on weekends, not on Friday nights, not on Saturday nights, not on Sundays. Um, and I do believe they changed the definition. They have to, because it used to be any offer over $100. Um, I've never I've never got an actual catering box order from Chipotle. And the reason is if I sit at my Chipotle, I will get 20 junky Chipotle orders before I would ever see a catering order from them. I don't understand how people are getting Chipotle catering orders and keeping their acceptance rate at 75%, because I can easily sit at Chipotle and decline 20 orders in a row. No problem. Like, I've tried it. Like, and someday I'll do it. Someday I'm just going to be like, I'm just going to sit at Chipotle till I finally get a catering order, and it's like, I don't know how else to do it. But so let's see, what do you got, Sombra? I only work hour and a half laps. The goal is at least 30 to 35 every lap. Sometimes I do get that far. Sometimes I get to 40. Yeah. So cool. Well, hey, Sombra, it's great talking with you tonight. Appreciate you so much. If you got any other thoughts on earn by time, definitely would recommend trying it out during your slower periods and see if maybe that works. Your miles are going to go up, right? Like, I will be, it's 100% true. But if you end up sitting around for 20 to 30 minutes waiting for a decent offer at 2 or 3 in the afternoon, sometimes when you're out, I'd recommend giving it a shot. I'm actually seeing more and more in my area that I actually get locked out of earn by time at certain times, because I think other drivers are realizing, like, look, at this point I have to take 70 to 80% because dash now anytime is that worth it. So that if you're got to take the orders, then if you're going to take them no matter what, you might as well make DoorDash pay you for the base pay, because that's what it's going to be. And you can try cherry picking, you know, on the better times. But I mean, my success here, like I said tonight, 2 horrible orders on earn per offer, switched to earn by time, and got 2 great orders. Um, I would argue that even at that first order would have been 9 for 12 or 15 miles, whatever it was. Even that first order would have been just as good as any of the earn by time offers they had sent me otherwise. But when that base pay goes up, it makes a huge difference. So, so you schedule. So, if I'm understanding you, Samra, you schedule. So you would schedule, say, from like 10 to 11:30, and then 12 to 1:30, and then like 2 to 3:30, and then 4 to 5:30. So yeah, so I actually used to live up in Wisconsin, so other side of the state, but I've at least driven around. You said Green Bay, right? I think you said Green Bay. Trying to scroll back. Like I said, my brain's a total fog. Um, but yeah, used to used to do a little bit of some some work and stuff up in the Green Bay area, sourcing product for Amazon back in the day, which is another thing that we're going to get into on this channel here eventually. That was actually up because it was Green Bay had the first shop go ever, right? And so I think, why can I not find yeah, Green Bay. Yeah. So Green Bay had the first, well, maybe the first two, but the first couple of shop goes ever. And when Shopko went out of business, um, I was buying inventory that they were liquidating at that time, and so I was up all around Green Bay and surrounding areas, going to all the different Shopkos up there, buying buying the merchandise that they were clearing out and everything. So a little bit familiar with the area. So we've done that before. And like I said, we're going to get into that on this channel here eventually, a little bit more about how to start selling on Amazon. And we're just we've been focusing so much on this whole DoorDash tiers thing with it rolling out here, trying to get people good information. And really, the broader point I have is not that you should or shouldn't do earn by time, but I would just recommend everybody try it, and more than once or twice before you give up on it. And like, if yeah. So are you, because you're Platinum Dasher, so are you scheduling it? Like, are you actually scheduling it, or do you just, when you log on? Okay, because this is one of my other thoughts that I have. I feel like if I tell DoorDash I'm going to be on, so if I just like log on and I say, let's say it's 10 a.m. and I just put 10 p.m., I feel like I don't get as good offers as if I say I'm going to just dash from 10 to 11:30. So is that why you cycle out after an hour and a half to just kind of reboot it in the DoorDash system? Like, is there a strategy behind that? Because I feel like if I just say I'm going to do 12-hour straight delivery work, DoorDash is like, oh, we got them. We're just going to send them junk. But I feel like when I do like an hour and a half, they're like, okay, well, we'll send them one or two good offers. I don't know. I'm just kind of wondering if that's just like a thought I had. Yeah. So, but okay. So you just log in and dash now, which is what I do. But what I'm wondering is there a reason you cycle out after the hour and a half and end it and restart it versus just continuing on? So I guess that's kind of what I'm wondering. Is there a strategy behind it, or is it just kind of how you do it? Yeah. Okay. And that's what I thought. Okay. So that's good. I feel the same way. I feel like if I tell them if it's 10 a.m. and I log on and I say I'm going to be on until 10 p.m. and I'm going to do a 12-hour shift, I feel like maybe I get like one decent order up front, and then it's just like trash, 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 and the acceptance rate goes. So it's good. I know we're not a scientific survey or anything like that, but it seems like that's you're seeing what I see. I've also wondered though. So this is I don't know how you would test it, but I wonder if I should be scheduling um, ahead of time to because if you schedule ahead of time, in theory, you're probably blocking out one other person who it would, if the zone went red for available for anyone to dash, right? I'm assuming that they have a quota, like, well, I'll just pick a random number because I have no idea. It's probably much higher than this, but they would say something like, we will allow 20 dashers on during this time. Okay, so let's say from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We'll allow 20 dashers on, and so it's like the dash now people can always dash now, but once those 20 blocks are filled, then it won't go red. So theoretically, if you're a platinum dasher or a gold you would have to schedule anyway most of the time. But if you're a platinum dasher, theoretically, if you scheduled, you would block out one of your competitors, right? I mean, yeah, you're not like that. I know, and I've never been like that either. But so this is the thing, right? It's like it's the rules of the game that DoorDash has put in place, and I'm not trying to block out a particular dasher. I'm just trying to block out a random dasher because I want less people on the road, right? I mean, in theory, the less dashers out, the higher average price you would make. So I know I haven't done it either, like, but I've just kind of thought about it. I thought that probably logistically you should you should in terms of math wise it should block out a dasher if that's how their system is set up. But whether you actually should, I guess that's a separate question. So awesome. Well, thank you. I appreciate all the insight. So I know oversaturation sucks, but that's the game. Faster you deliver, the less competition. Yeah, the less yeah, no, that's true. I I get that. And I go back and forth on it, and I don't know how much I care to optimize these things, and it would be an interesting thing to test though. Just something along the lines of like schedule one whole day and then don't schedule the next day, or schedule one whole Wednesday and then the following Wednesday do your normal strategy and see if there's any noticeable difference. I mean, I doubt in most cases that one dasher is really going to make the difference. But I suppose if all platinum dashers started scheduling, that would even make it tougher. That would probably make a difference. So yeah, like I said, it's not something I do. I like to brainstorm, and my whole goal here is, probably going to wrap this up because I'm pretty beat. But there's so much negativity, and I think that's why I appreciated this conversation tonight, because it's like I just want to I just want to get better. I want to help people maximize the time that they're out there, right? Because the way I look at it is every one less delivery that I have to do to get to my goal is an extra 20 minutes or half an hour that I have to work on another business or to be with my family or to accomplish something else that I'm trying to do or volunteer or give to other people. And um, I I'm subscribed to a bunch of streams, and a couple of nights ago, um, Pedro DoorDash Santiago kind of had like an open forum with a bunch of delivery people on it, and I watched it, and I couldn't believe it was just so negative. Not Pedro himself. I mean, he was trying to moderate it, but it was a bunch of people who all appear like they hate doing this job. Like they hate DoorDash and they hate everything about it, and they're all like, yeah, there are realities here that I don't think DoorDash cares about us as individuals. Yes, that's true. But if I were to ever put together a panel of 12 people or something like that, I would just say, like, how do we help everybody get better? How do you how do you start training people? Like, how can we help people in our areas learn how to take better orders, how to provide better customer service, all these different things. Like, I I don't know. So I want this channel to be a place where we're brainstorming and we're learning, we're trying new things, we're exchanging ideas, because that's to me the way to overcome this is, yeah, DoorDash throws wrinkles, and like, um before the tiers, I would usually go between about 18 to 35% acceptance rate. So, but I also knew tiers were coming. So I spent months working out potential strategies in my head, which now I'm trying out in real life now that I have to. And it's like, okay, I don't love it, but I'm also not completely getting walloped like some drivers are who knew this stuff was coming and didn't really think to prepare about it. So let's see, a couple more thoughts here. The difference is knowing your city, your streets, be fast, but not too fast to get tickets. Yep, absolutely. I'll tell you one thing on earn by time. This is probably this is probably not a good thing, but when I'm on earn by time, I have no problem finding a parking spot that's like 3 aisles away. you know, I'm never tempted to illegally park when I'm on earn by time. Like I'll just walk because I know, it's when I'm on earn per offer, I feel like this extra pressure to be rushing or whatever. So do some lawn love, which is lawn company app, and go DoorDash for the rest of it. Yeah, and I think that's great. Like to have that balance. Is that like a company you own, or is it just a company you work for? But it's really hard for people who are trying to come into this new world of tiers and still be full time and try to figure everything else out. So, and there's also lots of people who are just starting. And one of the questions I have is like, where does a new Door Dasher start? Do you start as a Platinum Dasher till you get 100 deliveries under your belt, or till like do they start as Platinum? Because I think that would be like, especially this time of year. I bet a lot of people, because you got college students, you got high school grads, maybe you got teachers. I think you kind of get this huge influx of delivery people who are just looking for either extra summer cash or supplemental income because their jobs are on break or they're just bored and they're trying to stay busy. And according to the apps, they always say that summer is their slowest time of year. So you combine the slowest time of year with an influx of new drivers coming on, like you're gonna have that natural dip. And then I remember last year, like about a week before school started down here, like Instacart started picking up like crazy. And then like for the first month of school, a lot of the restaurant apps are like really popping and different things like that. So it there is a seasonality to it, but at the same time, like if this is your income, either a primary or still a really big portion of your income, like I want to help people succeed. And I know my market's not like everyone else's market. You got to try things, but just constantly I see this idea that earn by time is just simply this dumb thing where you get no tips. And I'm going to tell you that's just not the case in my market. And I think it's worth people giving it a try in their markets at different times. Um, it's amazing how good you feel when you see base pay is $8, $10 when you're so used to seeing $2. $8 to $10 base pay makes a big difference. People look at DoorDash the wrong way. They want hundreds of dollars a day. They should just look at their bills, make a balance. Like my bills are 22. Yeah, and that's exactly it. And I do think, and that's what this channel is all about too, that DoorDash excels as a side hustle, but it fails very quickly as a full-time hustle. So I agree with you there. So yeah, need $80 a day, make more than that, it's a blessing. And I think that's exactly it. And I think it's, but if you turn that up and you said, okay, you average 200 a day, if you needed 220 a day, you would feel the pressure quickly, right? Like you would have some days where you could scratch it out, but then like you get $150 day and now you need a $290 day to make up for it. Like, so I think that's where a lot of people are coming from is they're probably already underwater, you know, financially. And so it's like, then you have one bad day and, or an app is down. I saw, a couple weeks ago, I think Instacart was having issues and someone was like, well, now I can't pay my phone bill. Like, well, if paying your phone bill comes down to whether or not you can Instacart today and you need to pay it by tomorrow or whatever, like that's we want to help people like that, right? So our channel goal is to move 10,000 people from stupid broke to self-defined millionaires, and it sounds like you're already on your way here. Like if you're living below your means and you've got some other things, and I appreciate all of it. So I hope if you are watching this on replay, Sombra added so many good bits of wisdom and information that I responded to, but it's probably going to make a whole lot more sense if you rewatch it with the live chat as it took place, because there's just lots of good information from a completely different market than mine, and just some really good stuff out there. I see there's a couple other people watching, so If you are, chime in. I think we're going to wrap up here in a second. I'm going to give just a quick little channel update like we do at the end, just so you kind of know what is going on. We are on our roll towards 500 subscribers. So for anyone watching live or on replay, if you haven't yet hit that subscribe button, I would love if you would do that. If you haven't hit the like button, appreciate if you do that. We're just trying to get a two-part goal here, because one of the things that we're working on as a live project, as a group, is to monetize a YouTube channel, right? Because that's something I've never done. So with your help, I'm asking for your help to do that. And so we're looking to get to 500 subscribers. And Sambra, keep typing. I'll get to all your comments in just a minute here. So definitely want to hear and respond to everything you have to say. So 500 subscribers. I believe we're at 484. So I'm hoping we can get there by Sunday. This is the goal. That when I go live Sunday night. So I go live Sunday through Thursday nights at 10 p.m. Right now, that's the schedule I'm trying. Um, so my goal is when I go live Sunday night after a full weekend, I am hoping we will be at the 500 subscribers. The other part we're working towards is the 3,000 watch hours. And once we get those two things unlocked and I get approved and everything, then we'll start being able to do fun things like super chats and stickers and memberships and all those things. So that's what we're trying to get unlocked. And we still have about 1,485 watch hours to go. So we still need a lot of watch hours. So if you're new to the channel, I'd love it if you would just go find a playlist and just play in the background while you're exercising, while you're delivering, something like that. Anything that you can do to get watch hours up for this channel would be much, much appreciated. We also have some videos that we would love to make that we just can't afford to make quite yet, because like some of you out there, we still have debt that we're working through on our own. And so that's part of why we're doing this, is wanting to help other people that are in similar situations to us. But if you want to hop on board and financially support the channel, we do have a Patreon in the description below. You can also join there for free. You get some behind the scenes looks, but there are some paid tiers and lots of different things you can adopt for this channel and for the support of this channel. If you're not in a position, don't want to do that yet, that's perfectly fine too. You can just join for free over on the Patreon. And you can also send messages to me on Patreon at any time. I check in there usually a couple of times a day. And I need to get some posts up, because I actually haven't done a post for about 4 or 5 days now. But we've got lots of extra bonus content videos that are not public on YouTube over there, just exclusive Patreon stuff. And then we also have the Upside Cashback Challenge going on. This will be the last thing I'll mention for tonight. But I'm doing a challenge on Upside, trying to pay off a credit card with my cash back that I get from Upside and from referrals to Upside. So there's an affiliate link down below. You can sign up for Upside. And the bonus that they're giving out right now, if you use that link, is you get a bonus $5 cash back on your first fill up use with the Upside app. And there's some videos on my channel explaining how to actually sign up for that. And if you sign up through that link and fill up in the next week or so, then I will make sure to shout you out in my next Upside video update that'll be coming out either at the end of this week or beginning of next week. So that's about it. I'm going to read Sambra's last couple comments, and I think I'm going to scooch because we're just over our hour time frame that we kind of set aside for that. So let's see. Yeah, that's true. I always put $20 a day in my Cash App for emergency. That makes $750 a month. Yep. Use my $100 plus for bills in life. That's my best advice for every driver out there. Just subscribe. Hey, thank you so much. Check out other videos to help you out. Yeah, and we actually talked a little bit. One of the things, what was it? Two nights ago, we talked about one of the things I wish I knew before I started delivering, and one of them was to have an extra. If you have like an emergency fund of $1,000, I recommend for every driver to have an extra $1,000 emergency fund for your car if it's a significant portion of your income, because car repairs will come up. And so if you guys are looking, even though Sambra's brand new to the channel, he is living the stuff that we're teaching on this channel. And so again, if you get the chance to do so, rewatch this with a live chat. Yeah, car expenses hit hard. I know. We just luckily unfortunately had a family member who paid to fix the air conditioning on our car for us down here in Florida. So I've been enjoying that. But yeah, like that's car expenses add up quick. I had to actually I rewired one of my headlights yesterday. I've never done electrical work in my life, but I went to the auto repair shop because I was like, I don't want to spend $150 on this. I like there's got to be a way I can do it, and I think it was like a AutoZone or whatever. And I told them that they were like, I know. And the guy was like, I don't do electrical on my car either, but you can do this. So, um, and so I did it. I did. I rewired my headlight, and it rained all day today, and the headlight stayed on. So I'm going to count that as a win, because I am not mechanical and not an expert in that sort of stuff. But I was able to rewire it, stripped wire for the first time. Never done that. Use those little heat shrink ghetto connectors, and anyway, the light lit up, and I was able to see while driving in the rain today. So I was happy with that. Yeah. If you can do your own car repair work, that's a huge saver. So yep, I try. We've learned how to do a few things, but there always just seems to be one part of whatever the project is that just goes beyond what I can do. Though we were able to clear out before we got it repaired, we were able to clear out the whole vent system and found the mice that had built a nest in there. So we had fun with that. But awesome. Well, I'm going to head out for the night. Thank you, Sambra. Thank you, everybody else who watched live. I know there's other people on who aren't talking, but I appreciate you, even if I don't know who you are. And for those of you watching on replay, thank you so much. Appreciate it. We'll be back here, if all goes as planned, 10 o'clock tomorrow night, 10 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow night. So have a great night.